In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to start things off with the blue Protoss player. You know him, you love him. He's great. He's herO. Win this group, he's in first place, and he will eliminate GuMiho, the red Terran, who must win to advance. Plain and simple. Win, and he's in. Blues, and you're going to go home. Well, you know, you're not going to advance the game to the next group stage. You're already at home because it's an online tournament, but you guys get what we're saying. You guys get what we're putting out here. Yeah. He goes next stage also if he loses. No, he has worse map score. His map score is -3. So he cannot possibly get a better map score than Cure. So he is always behind Cure on map score. So he is out if he loses. No worries. You don't have to apologize. It's my job to know the dealio with the groups, so... And sometimes I'm wrong, so I appreciate the questioning, because sometimes it's good to double check. So yeah, GuMiho is -3 map score already. Cure getting the map off of herO helped him a lot. Basically made the difference. If Cure doesn't get that map off of herO, it's a very different situation, so... I mean, Mana as well getting the map off herO, but then Mana didn't get the map off of one of the guys he lost to. He lost O2 to a bunch of guys, whereas Cure also got the map of GuMiho. So Cure really doing a lot of work himself. Like, you know, you can say, it's just map score, but it was actually map score in very important matches. Like I say, against each other and also against the guy who is looking to top the group right now in terms of herO. Riper out from GuMiho starts to go to the bottom left. Nightmare is, yes, through 100%. He's been guaranteed 3 since he went to 3-1. I'm pretty sure it's impossible not to advance 3-1 in these groups. Like, no, you can't have 4 players get to 3-1. When 3 players advance, 4 players can't get to 3-1. It's impossible, so... You can't, And obviously he advances, obviously first and second's up for grabs. If herO wins, he's first. If herO wins, he's loses, he's second. But what's notable is that in this tournament, obviously it's a little bit less meaningful, first and second place. You know, usually first place... You know, if this was a group stage into a playoff bracket, we usually do first place gets an extra round advanced. In this case, entering group stage 2, being first place gives you a slightly better seed. So we still look to kind of work around players' schedules more than anything. But in general, the second thing we'll look at when making these groups for group stage 2 is if you advanced first place to your group, we'll try and avoid putting you with other first place finishes. We'll try and spread people out as much as possible. But that's not always going to be a perfect thing. Like, ideally, every group has a order-qualified group stage 2 player, and then a first place, second place, and a third place. But we're not going to put you in a group with someone you already played group stage 1 with, and we're going to try and make it so that you are, like I say, able to work on all of the players' schedules. Because some players can play certain days, some can't play others. I'd rather prioritize player schedules than exact seeding out of the first group stage, basically. All of the players would prefer this as well. If I told the players, it's like, you get some freedom on when you play, or you kind of get seeded correctly into the group, everyone's like, no one cares about the seeding, you know? So... Well, Stalkers in the Sentry and Gathering. We do have the Robo Facility building, Viking and Tank on the way with a Marine coming out as well. Just going to get a couple of batteries building through. We've seen just a lot of Blink play from herO today. As GuMiho has actually shown us a lot of cool little kind of aggressive builds as well. He's shown us a few different things where he's shown up, he's thrown himself at his opponents, he's had a lot of very feisty builds. I really feel like GuMiho has a few times over been very close to winning games today too, so it's actually been a pretty fun day from him as that medevac drop comes in. A couple of probes go down. The Marines escaping out of there for the moment. Gripping the Cyclone, pull back. The Stalkers get across. And to see a bit more army coming in from the upper right-hand side, heading down to the bottom left. Do I have a favorite player to watch? I mean, I wouldn't say I have a favorite player in Beyond, but you know, fun guy. Always been very supportive of him. I mean, I wouldn't say I have a favorite player to watch necessarily, because like I enjoy watching most of the players that play StarCraft. Anyone that plays fast, that plays good, it's hard not to like watching them, you know. Obviously, I have a little bit of a preference to Terrans. I'm a Terran main, so my preference is maybe a bit more towards Terran players, but I watch a lot of StarCraft. It's hard not to appreciate good games being played when good games are being played, you know? It doesn't matter what race it is, so... Oh, this push of GuMiho is actually going to get around those Stalkers. This makes it a bit awkward. Can herO get home? Kind of not. Has an Immortal to help him out. We're actually going to see a Dark Shrine building as well right now, so GuMiho gets into a pretty good position to start off with. Battery is going to go down. A couple of Stalkers taking hits. The few extra Stalkers from the top. I think we're in an okay enough position to actually just kind of make this a continuous attack with everything coming in at once. Second tank took a while to go down, though, and the Marines will target fire down some of the low HP Stalkers. Makes this a pretty effective trade, I would say. Like, yes, you break out as herO, but you lose a lot in the process. Those couple Stalkers still low. Will not be something these Marines should ever be able to catch up on, but we get one more. Yeah, I mean, like I say, just capitalizing a little bit. Resource loss is actually pretty even. Look at that, 2105, 2105. It was actually dead even until a couple more Marines went down. They will try and chase for one more Stalker. They won't get it, but not a bad trade at all for GuMiho. Knocking Stalkers down. It was a lot more gas as well for herO that died than what GuMiho lost, I would say. So, well, actually, we can check that. 695 to 550. I am completely wrong. I didn't account for the two Vikings, actually. They were actually very, the extra 150. Yep, that would have put him behind. Just about, though. What else didn't I account for? Yeah, I guess 2 tanks and a Cyclone going down. The Cyclone we didn't see much of. I just really thought 9 Stalkers were going to be very gas expensive, and a Sentry, so... Yeah, I'll raise my hand and say I'm a little bit wrong on that calculation. herO going to throw a 3rd base down. Obviously, he was on 2 bases, which makes the trade of GuMiho that little bit better, because usually, I mean, you know, you want to be kind of punishing a 3-base Protoss player. The fact he's only on 2 bases makes this a lot more reasonable. Stim Combat and +1 coming up. Prism into the main, going to drop the double Immortal down. Stim Pack, going to be denied. It's not the first time we've seen Stim denied today. Maybe the first time off a double Immortal drop, though, is we also had a double Immortal drop from herO against Q. That was a disaster. This one goes a whole lot better. Reactor on the factory denied. That's great for delaying the Widow Mine count from growing, which is what you kind of want as the Terran to help you deal with the Zealots. And then obviously Stim Pack speaks for itself. We're not even building a new tech lab yet. We've got them further back. I mean, yeah, build it on this one here. Build it as far back as possible. This is the negative of kind of walling like this. This wall initially is to help you with some of the Blink Stalker attacks. But obviously it means that your tech labs, because all 3 barracks are in the wall, your tech labs are super exposed. So you get that denied. And that means that GuMiho is not moving out for the next 90 seconds or so, because there's no way he wants to try and make a fight happen without Stim. Which gives herO a lot of freedom, because now he's going to get to Storm before Stim is up. He's going to have DT harassment to poke about with. He was just going to feel good, as that is going to be the DT showing up. There's a missile turret at the front. The DT got a few swipes off. Going to go back and forth there, as this is just a battle to try and get out toward our 3rd base, I'd imagine. Yep, our 3rd is moving into locations. That's exactly what GuMiho is trying to play for, as we do kill 1 Stalker in the end. We just want to get a missile turret up over. Like, right here would be good. Kind of cover a little bit of the entry over this side as well would be nice. And you probably have pretty good coverage overall, so... not bad. Moving on the top, a few Stalkers still in the center. See the Stim and the armor upgrade building up as well. Bio pushing down the right side. You see a DT starting to swipe through a little bit. Loses a medevac. A little painful, and the DT gets scanned, so at least we get the Dark Templar. But yeah, medevac going down, and then the Storms show up. High Templars getting feisty, as the Prism was just like, I want a piece of this. High Templars, do your thing. And to be fair, it gets the tanks very low, hits a lot of the bio. Especially when you've just sniped a medevac and you've reduced the healing of this army, forcing the 1 medevac that remains to start using all of its energy healing. It's pretty darn good. We're actually going to jump on this army before some of the reinforcements get here. Now we're going to start storming as well, as herO looks to capitalize on what he set up for himself. Oh, GuMiho survives with a lot of bio. Is that the last storm? If it is, we might actually be in trouble here from herO. The Immortals get jumped on, and GuMiho comes punching forward. The Archon goes down as well, and GuMiho kills so much. Prism does survive. High Templar gets an energy recharge. It's going to be full of energy here. That's the 2 storms that we're going to have are from that High Templar. This is the one thing that I think is most frustrating for Terrans at the moment, where it feels like you win that fight, and then boom, 1 High Templar that's freshly warped in gets 2 storms, and Storm is so powerful when it comes to defending in these moments, and so it becomes so much tougher for the Terran to capitalize. GuMiho, though, still trading well. 53 to 29 army supply with 1-1 upgrades in his favor right now. Widow Mines will be blinked away from. They will not go off on anything meaningful, but it does put the blink on cooldown at least. But a new immortal showing up. herO might just about scrape together a defense for the moment. But this was all about GuMiho. What a fight for him. Coming through and looking good. Resource velocity is still pretty even in the game. But GuMiho's economy is good. 3 bases versus 3 bases. 67 to 70 workers. Obviously, GuMiho has a few mules on his side. That's going to be one of his benefits. This few Archons still building up. And if that gets chased away. 2-2 now building as well. Bit of bio just pulling back. A few Stalkers get into the center. I mean, I liked how it went for GuMiho, but I don't like how it's continuing. Like, if he pushes right now and takes advantage of the 30 army supply lead, great. But the 2-2 upgrades are starting to lead for herO. GuMiho a little late on the armory. herO's still a 4-base Protoss. And GuMiho's tech is non-existent. It's biomine still. And as the game progresses, that is not a great place to be at. You know, if he was in, had a few ghosts coming into play right now, I'd love that for him as well. But with upgrades falling behind, ghosts falling behind, he starts a 4th CC, but I think we can see that he's not doing much over here, and that's the only thing I really liked for GuMiho was the amount of army that he had. So if you don't do anything with that right now, in fact, you're getting chased away, then I do think herO is stepping right back into this game. Storm's looking to get as much done as possible. Ooh, loses the Prism. GuMiho is running, but maybe that opens the door for this attack on the bottom side. He's going to force the recall of herO as he has to reposition from top of the map to bottom. Widow Mines blow up a bunch of fresh Zealots. And GuMiho putting that recall on cooldown will maybe give him more opportunity. Straight back to the left side here, going to punish this. Jump on the Immortal that's left behind, jump on the Stalker. Now the army of herO going to go back through the middle of the map. This army's so low HP. If this army was any healthier, I'd actually be a bit scared for herO if GuMiho threw this at the left side bases, but there's a lot of warp-ins there. The army's not healthy. I don't think we do enough with it. Defense is fine though from GuMiho as well, and he will hold on back at home. My concern still just being the fact we are not tacking into a better army comp against what Protoss has, and we're not building any upgrades. The armory is done and we're still doing nothing at all. I hate it. GuMiho, I feel like the position was fine, but like I said, I don't know if we're capitalizing great. There's a ghost on the way up, so finally a little bit of tech going to be added on into this. Get rid of that probe, jumping onto the pylon, the Nexus. Going to take some damage as well. Couple cancels over to the right side. Pylon, the battery getting cancelled up. Army from the top. Archon Immortals, High Templar coming over. A couple of Zealots are going to try and come through as well. Let's get rid of the pylon, get rid of the Nexus. The Archons will again try and make their way through at the moment as you continue to step up. Both Archons going to get cleaned out. The High Templar do not drop any storms, so that's going to be an army fight that GuMiho can win still. No, go chase. Get those Immortals. Don't let them get away from you. And GuMiho's distracted. He's trying to push in on the left-hand side, but those last few units do not do much of anything. And GuMiho might just be better off recollecting everything together once more. 160 to 120 supply for GuMiho, but again, I mean, he's getting ghosts out. I hate that he just never started upgrades. I mean, he's just not been having a lot of gas available, to be fair. Like, he had the armory now so long, but he just never started the 2-2. Definitely a little rough scenario. EMP onto the Immortal, High Templars as well, so some of the storms get taken out. We dive for the Colossus. GuMiho doesn't get it. Oh, he does. The last Marauder shot is okay for it. Do we have enough overall? I think these Zealots are going to melt. Again, imagine he just had the extra bit of upgrade power. Moments like this where it's scrappy and gateway units versus bio, that's exactly when you're meant to see those upgrades really kick in. So missing them is really hurting right now. Zealots on the other side kill 20 SCVs as well. So GuMiho's economy takes a major hit as he denies the 4th. Which I would say puts this as a recoverable position for GuMiho. You can see herO probably looking at a different 4th of his own. So yeah, I think GuMiho can recover from those SCV losses. He gets out with all of this army as well. Still up about 30 army supply, but now herO's on his way to a +3 attack upgrade. Also, herO's switching to Colossus. GuMiho took so long to get the Ghost on the field, it feels like he's barely had Ghosts to help him with the fights, before now Colossus is out and he has to start thinking about Vikings. And so GuMiho, who is actually drained from his main and natural, because this is actually a pretty late game at this point. We're 15 minutes deep. At this point in time, GuMiho, I think, is going to get out-teched again because he's just not keeping up in the game. Like, GuMiho just paused all progress for like 3 minutes, and while he had that advantage and he could have maybe kind of kept on rolling, it just feels like he let herO right back into the game. And like I say, that would have been fine if he just ran across the map and killed herO, but that is not what happened. It's going to be seeing this fight. Still has potential. Don't get me wrong, GuMiho is not dead yet. I just feel like the position he was in was so much better than what we're seeing play out. Those Colossus are the issue right now, but maybe we can just dive on them and overwhelm it. There's a lot of Marauders. Well, Zealots from the left-hand side. We try and dive up the right. It's not happening. The Colossus are putting way too much work in, and GuMiho's supply plummets. Again, you're just down on upgrades. Again, it's a kind of a frustrating one because you just see GuMiho having so much potential, but it's all falling away from him right now. It's all going the wrong way at the moment. Comes back in, finishes off this base at least, but herO has replacement bases on the top, so I wouldn't say that this is too hefty of a loss at the moment. The continuation of a drop into the main base is nice. I mean, the harassment is obviously good. We're not going to complain about that going GuMiho's way. A couple of Widow Mines here will unload and able to look at a couple of probe kills. Oh my god, if that exploded, that would have been so many workers, but we just killed them in time. That is absolutely brutal. GuMiho's eyes, if he was watching that, still probably lit up for a second. That was so close. And GuMiho just building Ghosts and Vikings. Like I say, I mean, that's fine. That's the right tech that you want. But again, just no upgrades. He's now up against 3-2 and he's 1-1. And he's trying to play the chaotic game, which is fine. But I just think herO's too well set up for the Chaos to really kind of win out. Up in the main base. Got the Templar Archives. I mean, you know, you do lose that. You lose the ability to warp in Templar for a little bit. Storms are actually coming down the Vikings, and herO's not having the easiest of time. The Vikings actually getting some free shots off. Those two Storms are nice though. GuMiho not getting away from those quickly enough. Trying to bring the Vikings back in, but now they're hurting. It's easy to target them down with a few additional Stalkers, and herO is going to survive, and he's going to chase as well. So herO believes he can just run across the map at this army, which is honestly maybe not too far from the truth. Stalkers out, Colossus joined together. EMP coming out toward the Stalkers as well. 5th base on the top of GuMiho. Sums up all my TVP. You know, I'm a big believer right now that Proxy is very good defensively, maybe a bit too good, yada yada. But I actually feel like this is one of the TVPs where I've seen a Terran take the lead, and it's actually really on them that they've lost it. That might sound really critical, but like this was not like, oh, storms, blah blah, whatever. This was GuMiho who had all of the time in the world to do anything, and he did nothing. You know? Like, he had so many advantages, and he did nothing with any of them. And he allowed herO to get all of the advantages back into the game. Like, if you're not going to just throw your army at the opponent because you're scared of Storm, then build an answer to Storm. Don't just sit there on the exact same army for 3 minutes, waltzing around the map and then kind of taking scrappy fights. Like, taking the scrappy fights is somewhat okay, but like, being scared of the scrappy fights only to then take the scrappy fights and not being any better off for it. Meanwhile, herO, you know, has more and better tech on the way out. Like, herO lost a bunch of base this game too, like, but GuMiho's army's never been good enough, and I think the most inexcusable thing is the upgrades. Realistically, like, the upgrades should have never been 1-1 to 3-2 at the end. Like, GuMiho could have added, like, he was late. Let's get into it as we have second game starting up in the bottom left-hand side. The blue pro display with the 1-0 advantage. This is herO. Up against the red Terran in the top left, we've got GuMiho. GuMiho attacked non-stop. How is that nothing? Because he didn't attack non-stop. Like, he ran at his opponent and then stopped and decided, I'm not actually going to run into this. Which is the exact moment where if you're not going to build... And you know what? That was fine if he then pulled back and then traded and what... But, like, he then just... There was a significant period of the game where he really did nothing. He just sat back, built up, and maintained a 20 supply lead without doing anything to actually help his game, you know? Like that in that moment, he could have just split up his army and fought. He could have pushed and fought. He didn't attack non-stop. He stopped for a period of time that let herO get back in while doing nothing to better his army. When you're in the game, you don't know you have a 30 supply lead. You're meant to, though. Like, GuMiho should absolutely know he has a supply lead when he wins a fight like what he won. You know? That's also a pretty major factor. Like, yes, we obviously have better vision of it, so it's easy for me to be annoyed about it for him or whatever, but he should also know that some of those fights were absolutely, you know, winning fights and putting him into good positions. I mean, even more so, if you don't think you're ahead on army supply and you don't think you have that lead, then you should be even more aggressive. Or you should be even more ready to tech up. You shouldn't just be sat there doing nothing. You know? I think that this plan from GuMiho just had nothing coming through. This is a fun build then. Proxy Marauder, Hellion. So the Marauders deal with the Stalkers. The Hellions can obviously help with Adepts and Zealots a lot more. And if a probe pull comes in to help defend, the Hellions really punish it. And we are going to commit right now. herO is aware of the, you know, with the hallucination, a little bit of what's up. He already built the Nexus on the low ground. He's going to pull a few probes. He's going to have a sentry to warp in a force field with, and that's obviously going to be probably a big part of this defense. As a couple of Marauders will ping through the Nexus, the Hellion joining together. We get a cancel on the Nexus, the few Marauders joining up, and we are going to see potentially move toward the main. Well, Stalker, Sentry, the few probes. It's going to gather right now. Hallucination is going to come up as well. GuMiho's committed to one base. He's proxied everything here, so he needs to win this game as the Marauders ideally need to hit the Stalkers during this. He's going to get the hallucinations at the front there. He wants to get that Sentry. If he gets the Sentry, you get rid of the force field, so then you can't force field a defense together. Medevac is coming up, so we will have an opportunity soon to maybe try and split the units around a little bit. As herO. Obviously lost his Nexus. What is he building? A Void Ray? Obviously nothing really shoots up here from GuMiho, so a Void Ray will eventually clean this up. So the issue that GuMiho is going to have right now is that he's not, again, maybe doing things quickly enough. I don't disagree with how he's approaching it, because the Sentry makes it very difficult to get into the base. But the more time he gives to herO, the more viable it is to get a Void Ray out and a Void Ray defense. The Void Ray pops out. At this point, GuMiho's getting to a stage where he's realistically just going to have to go and try and kill as much as possible while taking Void Ray damage. Because right now, nothing is going to actually kill this Void Ray. This Medevac goes down, high ground vision about to be lost. And then the Marauders just stood in Void Ray range and taking damage, getting chased away. A Liberator is going to pop. That's not anti-air either, and that's 2 Marauders down, 3 Marauders down. Yeah. Void Ray is just very good against this. You needed to... you need to get into the main and continue pushing, is the TLDR. Which is why when he had the chance to kill the Sentry, I think he should have killed the Sentry. He hit the 2 Stalkers in the front that were hallucinate. If he hits the Sentry and kills the Sentry, maybe he gets into the main. And I think that would have been a very important moment for him. There's going to be a Viking popping out, a Cyclone building as well. Viking's just going to go run for it, but I mean, this is all of your production. So if you give up your production, that's not great. Uh-oh! Uh-oh! Oh my god! 20 probes! 23, 25, 26. herO just pulled all of his probes from a Liberator, and he just lost every single worker in the game. He's on 0 probes. But GuMiho can't build anything because its production's just got camped. Oh my god. herO just pulled all of his probes against a Liberator, and GuMiho capitalized. But GuMiho has no production. He has 1 Cyclone at home. herO has 0 workers, 0 minerals. He has no way to build anything. He must win with what he's got, but it's 23-6 army supply. GuMiho is going to lose to a 0 worker Protoss. He just doesn't have enough. Wow, that's devastating. I mean, herO just has to go, obviously. Phoenix goes down. I mean, can the Cyclone solo this army? Surely not. A barracks building. 2 Zealots are here as well. We actually get rid of one of the Stalkers. This Cyclone has a lot of work to do, guys. We're going to see the depot under fire. The Void Ray trying to get rid of the depot, opening access to the base. That makes it a lot harder for the Cyclone to survive. The SCVs are now the wall off. Another Stalker taking hits, man. A couple of Zealots coming through. SCVs are going to pull the Oracles here as well. Uh-oh, the Oracle diving on the Cyclone is a game killer. It's over. GG. Oh, man. Such a sick move. It just didn't matter. GG. herO loses every worker. But he had enough of it.